Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video and something a little bit different, because today I'm going to be taking a look at 10 things that I hate about F1 2021 that needs to be fixed for F1 22. First of all, this isn't either a game news video nor is it a game ideas video. I'll leave a link. I'll try and leave iThings to both of those series should you not have caught up on all of the game news so far, or indeed any of my game ideas series that I did back at the end of last year. So number one, the AI. Now we all know that the AI are being improved over the years, but there are still some serious flaws. For example, we all know that there are every high-speed corner the AI do 5,000 miles per hour. P1, for example, they're too fast for these corners. Codemasters have attempted to try and reduce these speeds, but it's either that fix never didn't. They said that they fixed it, it didn't actually work, or it just it didn't work in the first place as well. Carcass temperature is another one. Affects the players hugely in terms of pace. Doesn't affect the AI as well. So there's a lot of work to do in there. Not just that, and also silly things like what you're seeing on screen now from my driver career mode videos, when Russell just drives into the back of the safety car. Idiotic stuff like that. Number two, driver transfers / retirements. Dreadful system on F1 2021. It's been poor for the past couple of games. It needs to be refreshed. Also, in my driver career mode, I've still got Perez, Vettel and Alonso hanging about in season 5. Now, and Bottas is the only one out of those lot, and Raikkonen are the only two that have actually, and Giovinazzi actually. Giovinazzi is younger than all of those. Those are the 3 drivers that have retired out of my career mode. So yes, wouldn't mind seeing one of them, but the problem is it doesn't refresh, and the driver market has become very stale at this point in the later seasons, where if they want to build a game where the hardcore player base are playing, then they need to revamp driver transfers. I wouldn't say quite as extreme as F1 2019. I mean, F1 2019 you had to renew your contract every 4 races. Not quite looking at that, but at the same time we could be looking for a similar system and maybe have a slider or something as well. Number 3, the penalty system. Outdated penalty system, where one of the penalties, for example, is if you touch someone very lightly in rear behind the safety car, not only you get a 5-second penalty, but the person you've broken into also gets a 5-second penalty as well, or you've been broken into as well. Online is just riddled with terrible penalty systems as well. I must admit, it is a lot better offline, but online is just absolutely dreadful for penalties, and you're lucky to get away without. If you are a consistent multiplayer player, then you probably know what I'm on about. And that brings me on to multiplayer as well, because multiplayer, I mean, I think they have stabilised the servers now, but the servers were getting that bad, as I mentioned in an episode, that they were so bad that the leagues, PGSL, one of the top esports league, actually had to postpone its league races as well. And also, trying to join and in between lobbies is so painful. Like, it takes minutes at least. It should be a minute at most between each set online session as well, and just trying to find a lobby as well, because pretty much you end up in the social lobby because the other lobbies are useless, and you're looking for you have to then go because the pre-choice lobbies are also pretty dreadful as well, because that's not really what you want to be playing, not to give you that quick challenge that you really want from a multiplayer 5-lap races. Maybe we're not out qualifying, but collisions are on to give that online experience and no ghosting through players as well. So multiplayer, I mean, it's been unloved for many years, and it's going to be, I don't think that's going to be changing for F1 22. In-game characters. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, I'm talking about the our former engineer Jeff and Claire and Emma. Now, Jeff, who has regenerated into Mark Priestley, obviously, I presume that obviously Mark, a lot of people think that, you know, Jeff has been a pain, that the pain of Jeff will go away. That's not necessarily the case, because the problem that Jeff, obviously, it's reading lines from the code, and if the code has just been updated to say Mark Priestley's lines instead of Jeff's lines, then it's not really going to work as well, and you probably still get this, might still see some of the same stupid strategies that we had in F1 2021. Claire, still answering stupid questions. Obviously, the interviews have been looked at, but they need to be looked at further as well in that case. Otherwise, they're not really going to be making any progress on that as well. And then Emma, I mean, she has less and less a role in driver career mode, and in my team, I don't think she's been seen at all, to be honest. As well, so you know, there's lots needs to be built on in-game characters to build that, and hopefully F1 Life might add to that. As I say, I don't know. We haven't seen any gameplay and what narrative there will be from those characters for F1 Life as well. Number 7, the email system. It's quite a bad email system, because you get, first of all, when you welcome to the team, you're given the team's objectives, but you get 2 emails with the team's objectives saying different things. You know, and obviously there's no. I hope, as I say, I think that's been built. They've built that in, which is good to see now that they've built in some objectives for as well. Nice to be expanded. I think that's confirm my team, if I remember rightly. Again, driver career mode, game news video series will confirm that as well, but still, it needs a lot of work. Number 8, cutscenes in career mode, or rather, the lack of them, because there are no cutscenes in career mode at all, and also the transition between seasons is poor. So, first of all the cutscenes that are removed from F1 2020, add them back in, and secondly, have an extra cutscene for the end of the season to show off, I don't know, the end of season party. I mean, they made that as I say, one thing that I did mention in my game ideas video is that a lot of the stuff that we saw from Breaking Point, like maybe the end of season party, the email interaction system as well, the interview pen, that needs to be brought across to my team driver career mode, and especially the fact that Breaking Point isn't on F1 22. This is a good opportunity to take advantage of those features that were made Breaking Point, well, you know, were good in Breaking Point, and bring them into career mode. So we still haven't heard a lot about what else is coming to career mode. I'm sure there's going to be some changes as well. We already know some changes, but there's not a lot, and I'm pretty sure there might be a little bit more to come. as well. Number 9, bring back the R&D tree. The block system just doesn't do anything for me. As someone with a visual memory, and someone who doesn't play the F1 game, more on a weekly basis rather than on a daily basis, it's relying on that memory to remember where I am with the upgrades, where I've planned the upgrades, what upgrade path I want to take, and it's quite hard to see which ones to take because they're all the same blobs as well. At least the R&D tree had definitions. You could map it out and also had definitions between those minor, major and ultimate upgrades, whereas this just starts to change. And the other thing I don't like about the R&D tree is that they've removed the if you're when you're maxed out, you can't tell where everyone is on the car performance for each department. You can see it overall, but not for each department as well. So the only way you can do this is by clicking on an unpurchased upgrade. But if you've maxed out, you've purchased all your upgrades, so you can't see where you are compared to your rival team, which is important for setup reasons as well, to see, okay, I'm weak on aero, I'm weak on chassis, I'm weak on engine. Let's play around the setup and see if we can extract a bit more lap time from the car as well. And the final note is customization options. Now, I don't just mean about customizing your liveries as well, although I do admit this was confirmed after I wrote this little bit for myself in this video, but obviously there is no livery maker in F1 22, which is disappointing considering the fact that every single other racing game, including the well less funded MotoGP series, has a livery maker in it as well. So yes, that's a disappointment, big disappointment from Codemasters. That's not in there. And obviously, also the HUD, the heads-up display, and the on-screen display, the OSD as well. I think there needs to be more customizability about that. Break it up a bit more as well. Maybe have a few different styles that people can choose from, in addition to be able to move objects around the screen as well. And also, one thing that is probably never going to happen, but we can all wish for, able to customize the team transfers as well, which would be very nice for a season mod or a fantasy mod in that, but alas, no. So yes, that's where I'm going to leave it today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel and you see plenty more F1 related gameplay as well. Let me know what you think in the comments below of your hates from F1 2021 that you want to see fixed for the new and upcoming game. But until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day and goodbye.